Hey everybody, it's Fabienne from Boldheart Business, and can't wait for you to meet Beth. Beth is somebody I adore. She's been in the program for more than a year, and I invited her to come and share with you what her experience of the Boldheart Business Program is, so you can hear it from her vantage point. Beth, before we dive in and I ask you some questions, please tell everybody, so they have a context for your situation,
Sure.
what you do. What do you
Okay,
do and where and
great. Thanks for having me too. This is so fun to relive it, the before and after kind of. I am a realtor. I'm a residential specialist in Washington State, and I've been doing that 22 years now. Started when my kids were little, and now they're grown, and I've had, kind of worked it part-time and grown it into a full-fledged, very successful business. Should I start into why
well, I was going to say, yeah, give us some context. So you joined probably like what, a year and a half ago, or 12
just barely over a year.
years, barely over a
Just
year.
over a year.
What was the context of your life that made you say, you know what, I need help? What was going on at that time?
Well, for several years, actually, I was extremely successful, the top broker, top single broker in my firm, which is amazing because there's a lot of beautiful, wonderful real estate agents in my area. But I was working so much, and because I wanted to take such good care of my clients, and the more you do a good job, the more people refer you, and it just keeps going. But I got to the point where my husband would look at me at 10 o'clock at night next to him on the couch with my laptop, and him going, "Are you going to be able to stop working some point today?" I'm like, "I just have to answer this email. I just have to, do whatever." And it was just overwhelming, and I honestly was a little bit afraid that I was going to like give myself cancer or something, because I was working so much. I was so stressed out, and I couldn't figure out how to keep my numbers up because I am super competitive. So whenever I would actually right when I was joining you, I was like, I can't be like that anymore. I have to like take a step back. I just have to be smaller. I have to do less because I like my life and I want to be able to live it. And I want to be able to see my adult kids and, friends, like everybody else that I saw, like having fun. And I was like, I have to work. That's all I can do.
That's the thing, is that the leverage. So you're talking about the leverage stage of business, which is where we're making good money. We have clients.
Oh yeah.
We're working more than we would ever agree to work for somebody else, and getting ourselves less than we would ever agree to be paid for working that much time for somebody else.
Oh and yeah, never.
Often think that maybe the solution is to just go small.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could come up with, because I actually talked to the managing broker at the firm where I was a couple years before that and was like, okay, I think I need an assistant. I think I need a buyer's agent. And she was like, oh, then you're going to have to find that person and train that person, and it's going to be hard. And I was like, that does sound hard, and I don't have time. And so I just kept doing what I knew to do, which just got me the exact same thing I'd always gotten. And I was just more tired. And so I could only figure out either take my foot off the gas or put it on the gas and worry that maybe I was going to die early or something. I mean, that sounds dramatic, but I really had that in the back of my head, like was concerned.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing how many people I've talked to who are at this stage of your business, the one that you were in, who it's like they can't see growing, so they just want to leave. They just want to bring it down or leave. Yeah. And what, as you know now, we're all about the fact that you can actually gain your life back while you exponentially scale your business. So, so you decided to join us.
Yeah.
And
after agonizing about it.
What were you agonizing about? What was there resistance to joining us?
Oh yeah, the money was the obvious one, because I typically don't invest in myself. I'd never had a coach before, and like a lot of money. Now I know that it wasn't for coaching. It's pretty typical. And then for everything that we get, it's great. It's a very good value. But I was just like, so much money, and what if it doesn't work? And and I just was afraid that, like, is this going to be one of those things where I have to spend so much time to understand whatever the system is, and in order to do everything, because that's what I didn't have was time. And so I was like, I just don't, if I just pay this money, is it magically going to happen? I mean, then I'm in for sure, but I was just afraid. That's basically.
So how did you overcome that resistance for yourself? What did you have to experience? What did you have to tell yourself to be able to get over the, I'm not sure I want to pay that much money. I'm not sure I have the time to do this. I'm not sure if it's going to work for me. So 3 pieces of resistance. How did you get over those?
I had the money. It wasn't that I didn't have it. I just am really frugal, so I don't like to spend it if I don't have to. But it was like, if you don't try this and you've already done work. You've already done, take your foot off the gas. That feels a little better in your personal life, but now your numbers are slipping and you're competitive and you don't like how that feels either. So here's another option that you haven't tried, and you're determined. So if you really try and it doesn't work, at least you tried. I just had to push through the fear of, so I was throwing up all the, what if this, what if that, and I just had to be like, do you really want this or not? Are you really willing to try or not? And then if you're not willing to try, then don't ever complain about working too hard again or not having your numbers where you are. If you're not willing to try, then you get what you get.
Yeah, it's funny how when presented with an opportunity, people are like, what if it doesn't work? As opposed to, what if it works?
What if it works? Exactly. That's what I was like, what if it could work and I don't ever find out?
Right.
And I just keep banging my head against this overworked wall.
Yeah, no fun. So hey, what's the program done for you? And then I'll ask you, like, what aspects of the program do you love and that are really valuable for you? But what's it done for you in this just 1 year so far?
It's given me so much hope. That's really the first thing. Seeing so many women and good-hearted men who are in the program and our entrepreneurs are from many different businesses that were like, yeah, I was there, a couple months ahead of me in the program and going, oh yes, I totally relate to that. I was there and now. So just seeing people, which is partly why I want having this conversation with you, because I want to help somebody that's like, I don't know if I should do it. Like, you should, but I can't remember where I was.
No, you just like, what's happened since?
Oh, okay. So what's happened? So hope is the first thing. And then just really breaking down and having tools of this is the marketing you do. This is how you can help manage your time. The activators is what they're called, that we go through that are just super helpful. And the one that I'll never forget that still is the most important one to me is where we do the quadrants of what your unique brilliance is, I can't remember what they're called, but the things that you're pretty good at, and then the things that you're okay at, and the things that you suck at. That's not how you call it, but that's
but sometimes it's good to call it what it is.
Yeah, suck at. Don't do that stuff. Don't do that bottom quadrant. And it just really gave me so much freedom to be like, because I'm a recovering perfectionist, that I don't have to be good at everything, and that if I can focus on the things that I really am amazing at and find the people who are amazing at the things that I am not, and just admit it and pay them to do that, that's how I get my life back, and they're fulfilled and I'm fulfilled and everybody's happy and like
more, right? And you make more because you're only doing stuff you're uniquely brilliant at. I mean, it's an amazing process.
Yeah. So just opening my eyes to that one thing and being given permission that I don't have to do everything, because I was doing everything, and that's what was making me so exhausted. It's like,
so you got hope, you got your life back. Tell us how you got your life back. What does your husband say? Are you working on the sofa until 10 p.m. every night?
No, I'm a little better. I'm still honestly in process because I don't have all the roles, Phil. I mean, I'm just barely over a year, and I had a big shift. I left one brokerage and went to another, and that was another reason that I've grown is because of Boldheart. I recognized this brokerage that has a growth mindset, that talks about leveraging, that understands teams, that helps you build a team. I was like, you guys say the same things. It's so weird. It just helped. If I hadn't been in Boldheart, I wouldn't have recognized it for what it was. I would have said, oh, they're another company and they're good too, and it's fine. And I just would have stayed where I was. And that wouldn't have served me or my clients or my family. Yeah. So I am working less. I'm barely working on the weekends. I do work some on the weekends.
You're a realtor, you know.
It's and it's boundaries, and it's a process. Yeah, so that's huge. I can't remember.
To your revenues, to the money that you've made. Are you okay with sharing a little bit?
Yeah. Well, we talk in volume of millions of dollars sold. So obviously this isn't what I've made, so don't twist it. Let's see. So last year, from January to this time of year, I had sold, I think, 24 units, and it was like $7.8 million worth of real estate, which isn't nothing. I mean, that's pretty good. I was learning and asking a lot of questions, so I maybe wasn't as fast as I could have. Anyway, and then all of last year, my volume was 11.8 or something like that million. And now, so far this year, my volume is just under 13 million.
And that's with the pandemic.
And that's with the pandemic. In 9 months, with the pandemic, with not going to my office hardly at all the last 6 months. And I'm a super people person, so not getting to be with people, which I think energizes me. So I don't even know.
1 year, you've doubled the number of units, or at least doubled the sales. Which
I will have. I mean,
well, from 7 something to 13 something, right? So 7 million to 13 million.
Right. That's right. So for 9 months, the same 9 months, almost double. Right.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So I didn't even figure that
out. Math girl, right? But so that means your personal income has grown.
Right, definitely. And I haven't figured out what that is. And then taxes and all that, it gets kind of confusing. But yeah, so volume for volume, almost double. Mm-hmm.
Almost double the volume, which means you're likely making more. You're beginning to get your time back. I mean, this is significant.
Yes. And I really haven't been able to leverage as much as I would have liked to. I'm in the process. So when I actually get the rest of my team figured out,
it's been a wonky year, right?
I'm excited.
So Beth, there are a lot of what I would say pretty amazing aspects to the Boldheart Business Program. Which are the aspects that you find the most valuable, that are like, this is why I'm doing so well even just a year later, and you were able to really ride this wave the last few months?
It's so hard to pick one because they all work together so well. But the first thing that comes to mind is the quarterly activators that used to be the meeting in person, which I miss it so much because I love my Boldheart ladies.
We're now 100% virtual. And I remember you were the one who was saying, you know what, it was so many flights across the country, so much money.
It was
a lot of money.
I know. I loved being together, but time-wise, it is a lot easier, and expense-wise, yeah. Since I'm
so you like the quarterly
activators. I love the quarterly activators. The content is just so good. It's so good, so helpful. I need to go back through and read all my notes. And I love the accountability buddy. That's somebody that you talk to once a day, preferably. I've had 3 different ones, and they've all been fantastic. And I'm still in contact with all of them. The Q&A, having access to you is like on a weekly basis is what? I mean, that is really cool. I remember the first time I was just like, oh, there she is.
You. Yeah, but those are great because even when you don't have a question, you come.
And I come all the time and I don't have a question, but I still end up taking notes because somebody says something and I'm like, oh, that's a great book, or that's a great resource, or just
hadn't thought about it that way.
Insight that you have or that one of the other people has. It's I come all the time. I feel kind of bad when you're like, does anybody else have a question? I'm like, quick, think of a question. I'm wasting this resource.
No. I mean,
I still take lots of notes.
Yeah, there's something to be said when people are in the program and they realize that they have access. You know, you're never more than 6 days away from an answer to your pressing question. Of a multiple 7-figure business owner who is there for you every single week. And, you know, that's not available to most people. So an aspect of the program that people like a lot. You know what I love is that like you're just beginning year 2. The best is yet to come. It's like we could have another conversation like this a year from now, and even increased results, increased quality of time.
Absolutely.
What would you say to somebody, let's say there's a woman watching this right now and she's been on the fence for some time. Mm-hmm. She says, should I, shouldn't I? But what if it doesn't work? And what if it's going to take a lot of time? And what if it's not worth the money? And I don't know what to do. What would you say to her after having been in the program just 1 year?
I would say, if you've tried other things and you're not satisfied with where you are, you should bet on yourself and invest in yourself and do it. Just work through that couple minutes of fear of how am I going to get the money, or what, whatever is keeping you from it, and just bet on yourself.
Yeah. Would you still be in the old Beth Allen world of working till 10?
Probably would just not. I just wouldn't be helping as many people because I just was so tired. And my husband was really like, you can't keep doing this, because it had been like 4 years of just working and being so stressed out. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night being like, oh my gosh, I forgot to call back that client. Oh no. And then on my trip back from the bathroom, I would realize that was not even a real client. I made that up in a dream. That's how stressed out I was. So I probably wouldn't, my numbers wouldn't be anywhere near, I wouldn't be making the money I'm making. I wouldn't be able to be funding my grandson who's about to be born college, which I absolutely can do, and any more that come. I wouldn't have the options that I have. I would be fine, and I would be not working as much probably, but yeah, I wouldn't have the energy that I have now, which is like, I'm doing it, yay, it's working, I would just be like, well, it was fine, I had a good, few years where I was the top person, and now
you get to be the top person making more money with your life back.
Yeah,
funding
and
grandchild.
I'm the top single broker at my new brokerage.
Congratulations, Beth.
People.
Congratulations.
Thank
Such
you.
an inspiration
And
to
thank
everybody.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I love working with you. And like I said, the best is yet to come. Thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you for everything, Fabienne.